This is where your favorite Angier dry fruit begins its final journey, inside a modern dried fig processing factory.
You might grab a pack like this without thinking, but every single fig inside has been carefully cleaned, dried, shaped, and inspected.
Behind this chewy, sweet bite is a surprisingly complex process that balances nature, engineering, and strict hygiene. Today, we'll go deep inside the lines where fresh figs become dried Angier, ready for your snack bowl. From harvest to high-tech dryers, watch how delicate fruit survives an industrial journey without losing its flavor.
It all starts here, with soft, fragile figs, grown in warm, sunny orchards.
Fresh figs spoil quickly, so turning them into dried Angier makes them last for months instead of days. You'll see these in festive gift boxes, health mixes, sweets, and as a natural sweetener in home kitchens.
In this video, we'll follow 4 big stages: receiving and cleaning, careful drying, shaping and pressing, and
along the way, you'll also see how factories keep Angier safe with strict quality control and food safety checks.
from hand washing to metal detectors, each step is designed to protect what eventually ends up on your plate.
We'll look at how temperature, airflow, and time are carefully controlled so figs dry evenly without burning or spoiling.
You'll also see how those familiar Angier discs, rings, and blocks are formed, pressed, and packed by machine and by hand. By the end, you'll understand the full journey from a juicy fig on a tree to the dried Angier in your kitchen jar.
Most dried figs start in regions with hot, dry summers, perfect for ripening this delicate fruit.
Timing is critical. Pick too early and they're bland. Too late and they split and attract insects. Harvesters pick by hand to avoid bruising, carefully placing the figs into shallow crates.
Only figs with the right size, softness, and sugar level are selected for drying.
In some regions, figs are partially dried under the sun at farms before they ever reach the factory.
As moisture evaporates, the skin wrinkles and sugars become more concentrated, boosting sweetness.
Within hours of harvest, crates are loaded and rushed to the processing plant to prevent spoilage.
The clock is ticking. Warm fruit can ferment quickly if it sits too long in transport.
At the gate, every load is weighed and logged to track exactly how much raw fig arrives each day. Large factories can receive many truckloads in a single day during peak season.
Now, the real transformation begins as fruit leaves the farm environment and enters a controlled food factory. Forklifts shuttle the crates into a dedicated receiving area separate from finished product zones.
This physical separation is part of good manufacturing practice to prevent cross-contamination. Here, figs rest briefly while they wait for initial inspection and sorting.
Samples are pulled from each crate to check for mold, insect damage, or foreign matter.
Any sign of mold or serious defect can cause a batch to be rejected or sent for separate handling.
Once approved, the figs are emptied onto conveyors that carry them to the first major step, sorting. From this point on, almost everything happens inside stainless steel equipment and controlled rooms.
Sorting is crucial because even one bad fig can affect the flavor and safety of a whole pack.
Operators remove anything that looks too soft, split wide open, or insect damaged.
Good and bad fruit are separated into different streams automatically and by hand.
Some plants use optical sorters that scan color and shape, ejecting off-spec figs with bursts of air.
These machines work at amazing speed, checking hundreds of fruits every second.
Once sorted,
Figs head into a washing system to remove dust from orchards and transport.
High-pressure food-grade water jets rinse the fruit from all sides.
The goal is to clean the surface without soaking the figs too deeply with extra water.
Rotating drum washers add gentle tumbling so all sides are exposed to fresh water.
The wash water itself is filtered and refreshed regularly to maintain hygiene.
Powerful air blowers called air knives help dry the surface quickly, so drying time stays predictable.
From the washer, figs move up a dewatering belt that lets excess water drip away. After washing, they pass one more human checkpoint, where trained eyes look for defects the machines might miss.
Anything suspicious is removed here because it's much cheaper than catching it after packing.
The cleaned figs are now divided by their future use: whole dried figs, pressed ungear discs, or pieces for bakery and cereal mixes.
Inline scales measure the flow so operators can match dryer capacity and avoid overloading the system.
Speed, volume, and dryer settings are constantly adjusted based on fruit size and initial moisture.
At this stage, figs are still soft and juicy, with moisture levels too high for safe storage. A vibrating table spreads them into a uniform layer, helping them dry evenly later.
For premium ungear, figs may be arranged carefully by hand on trays to prevent them from sticking together.
Uniform arrangement also makes it easier to form nice shapes during pressing.
The loaded trays are stacked into racks that slide directly into large drying chambers. Behind these doors, hours of gentle heat will transform fresh figs into the dense, chewy ungear you recognize.
Racks slide into long tunnels where hot, dry air will flow evenly around every tray. Operators set temperature and humidity according to a recipe developed through years of experience. Gentle, warm air draws out moisture slowly, reducing water content without cooking the fruit.
As water migrates from the center to the surface, it evaporates into the airstream and is vented out.
Over time, figs shrink, darken, and become denser as sugars concentrate.
Sensors constantly feed data back to the control system to keep conditions within a narrow band.
Midway through, figs are still flexible, but no longer burst with juice like their fresh counterparts.
If the surface hardens too fast, it can trap moisture inside, which is a problem for safe storage.
Samples are pulled out during drying to measure internal moisture with special instruments.
Moisture analyzers use heat and precision scales to calculate exactly how much water remains.
Now the figs feel leathery and bend without breaking, a sign of proper dehydration.
They rest in a cooling zone where temperature equalizes from outside to center.
Over time, some natural sugars may crystallize on the surface, giving a light, frosty look.
Operators also check the inside. It should be moist and sticky, but not wet or syrupy.
Color can vary from golden to deep brown, depending on variety and drying style.
Once they cool down, figs are ready for the next step: conditioning and shaping.
They are gently emptied into clean bins, each labeled with batch and dryer number.
From here, bins travel to a special room where texture and moisture are balanced one last time.
Conditioning lets moisture even out inside each fig, reducing dry spots and wet cores. After conditioning, figs finally move from bulk storage to the shaping and pressing lines.
Here is where figs change from simple dried fruit into the familiar forms of anjeer you see in the market.
Conditioned figs are poured onto conveyors that feed multiple processing lines.
Some will be sold almost whole, pressed into discs, while others will be cut into pieces or blocks for industrial use.
Cutting machines slice figs to prepare them for certain shapes and for mixing into other foods. Each slice still contains the crunchy seeds that give figs their characteristic bite.
For traditional anjeer discs, whole figs are flattened under gentle pressure.
The press squeezes them into coin-shaped pieces without bursting them completely.
These coins become the building blocks for the classic stacked anjeer disc bundles.
In more artisan-style factories, workers still stack the discs by hand into tight cylinders.
Columns pass through another press that compacts them into a firm, unified roll.
The pressure causes figs to cling together using only their own natural stickiness. Some traditional anjeer rolls are tied with string to hold shape and for easier handling.
Long rolls are cut into smaller lengths that match package sizes and weights.
Inside each roll, dozens of individual figs are pressed into a dense, layered structure.
For blocks and bars, chopped figs may be kneaded together to form a uniform paste with seeds. This fig mass is spread into a consistent sheet, ready to be cut into rectangles or bars. These cubes are often used in bakery products, granola, and snack mixes. Not all dried figs are pressed. Many consumers prefer them as individual, slightly flattened whole fruits. A gentle roller evens out their shape so they stack better and pack more efficiently.
The surface stays intact, protecting the sticky interior and seeds.
From one raw fruit, factories create many forms of anjeer to suit different markets and recipes.
Texture is important. Discs should bend without cracking and not feel overly dry or tough.
Weight is checked to stay within tolerance, since dry fruit is sold by weight as much as by count.
Some factories even check diameter to ensure visual uniformity on store shelves.
Only when appearance, weight, and feel are approved are the figs cleared for packaging. Approved batches flow directly into carefully designed packaging lines.
Here, speed meets precision, as machines and people work together to pack anjeer safely and attractively.
But before we seal anything, we need to look at how factories manage hygiene, grading, and lab testing. High-care areas require strict entry procedures, so dust and loose particles stay out.
Everyone must wear protective gear, from hairnets to gloves, to prevent contamination.
At the grading table, figs are sorted by size, color, and quality grade. Premium grade A figs are uniform and clean, while lower grades may have small cosmetic imperfections.
Even minor surface blemishes can move a fig into a different price category.
Inspectors look closely for signs of insects or hidden damage that could escape casual glance.
Moisture is verified again because too much water in the final pack can cause mold growth.
Microscopic checks can reveal mold spores, insect fragments, or other foreign matter.
Regular hand washing and sanitizer use are enforced with clear routines and supervision.
Before sealing, Every pack passes through a metal detector to catch any stray metal fragments.
Seal integrity is checked because even a tiny leak can shorten shelf life.
With safety and quality confirmed, it's time to wrap, label, and prepare these figs for the outside world.
Multi-head weighers measure exact portions by weight, ensuring each pouch delivers what the label promises.
Form, fill, seal machines build the bag, fill it with figs, and seal it in a single continuous motion.
Heated jaws fuse the film layers together, forming an airtight seal.
An inkjet printer adds production dates, batch codes, and sometimes expiry dates on each pack.
Packed pouches are counted and placed into cartons designed to protect them during transport.
Anjeer rolls are often packed into clear trays so customers can see the product before buying. Cartons are stacked on wooden or plastic pallets, making them easy to move and store.
Stretch film is wrapped around each pallet to hold boxes firmly during long journeys.
Finished product sits in a cool, dry warehouse where temperature and humidity are controlled to extend shelf life.
Forklifts then load pallets onto trucks bound for distributors, supermarkets, and export ports.
From here, these quiet brown boxes may travel hundreds or thousands of kilometers.
Staff unpack the cartons and arrange the fig packs neatly where you can easily spot them. When you pick up a pack and turn it around, you're holding the end result of a long, tightly controlled process.
At home, Anjeer becomes part of your snacks, desserts, and family recipes without you ever seeing the factor.
Now you know how much care it takes to bring this simple slice from orchard to your table.
From delicate fresh figs to dried Anjeer rolls and pouches, the journey combines farming, engineering, and strict quality control.
If you enjoyed seeing the real process behind this everyday dry fruit, subscribe for more factory stories and discover how